And my next guest on the show is someone who really idolizes and symbolizes the Rise with India theme. For the longest time, Porinju Veliyath has been indicating, communicating, and even saying it on the record on various public forums that he believes in the India story. And Porinju, Rise with India at ET now we've taken a pledge that all Indians now should really bet on India and really
Rise
change their
along with the
fortunes.
country.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's a great opportunity, in fact. Especially for the equity investors, I see a very special pocket of opportunity, maybe like never before. Something I think people all talk about the future of India. I believe the future is India. So I think it's a long way to go. People are trying to bring in the negatives, starting with North Korea or all those kind of global insignificant events, I would say. Now a fear of nuclear war and all, I feel it's really funny. And nothing wrong even if something little happens, So that can change the world, that can make the world more dynamic, In fact, we had much bigger concerns some point of time, the religious terrorism or the fanaticism. So that has been the real ongoing issue. Here is something we are fearing on. It may happen, some mad global leaders can do something unexpected. But I think these are to be ignored. First of all, investors are not investing all the money into equities. A part of your savings, keeping it in equity. When North Korea, they do something, keeping it 30% cash, the kind of things, I was reading some statements today on the ET. I think it doesn't make any sense. Stay invested. If something really bad happens, even your money in the bank may not be safe.
Now you said that for an Indian equity investor, this is like a dream come scenario. The opportunity is big, the opportunity is large, and in your investing career, you've never seen such good times. What is fueling this kind of an optimism? I mean, we all officially want to endorse the India story, but my concern with the current market setup is that macros are great and earnings are yet to pick up. GDP, rather than expanding, is actually contracting.
Yeah, this was very well expected by all the knowledgeable people in the market because we had the demonetization. So even if you remember, I was clearly talking 2-3 quarters. There could be pain in many pockets of the opportunity, many companies and many segments. Then the GST. GST also is a short-term disruption for a long-term good. So any good Indian with knowledge will agree to that. This is something, a long pending reform which we have to do, and everybody is happy about it. So that may take another 2-3 quarters. So totally it may be a 4, 5 or maximum 6 quarters for certain pockets of economy or some companies and some segments. They may report not very impressive numbers, but stock market always it reflects the future earning potential of companies. That is why people see a high price earning multiples today, and market is very smart. It always discounts in advance. So for me, it's not at all any surprise to me, and I am not concerned. I am very comfortable with the valuations today in the market.
And Porinju, I mean, sorry to interrupt you. You've been one of those people who've always said that be it hail, storm, sunshine, whatever outside, you believe in company fundamentals, and that's exactly as an investor that you would go buy. So I just want to talk about some of the new companies that you've entered in, and small, minuscule holdings here, but say for instance an RV Denims or a GPT Infra. What's been the rationale behind why you believe in the fundamentals of these companies?
GPT Infra and even GVK, which we discussed a month ago. I think I have taken more than 5% stake in GVK, which is disclosed to the publicly. So I'm taking a bet. See, there are gray areas. For example, in GVK, where there is a debt, there is contingent liabilities. Power projects are doing badly. If you want to avoid buying this stock, I can give you a lot of reasons. But I think it is near to zero is the value of this company today. Maybe 1,800 crores market cap. I started at below 1,000 crores, of course. And recently, see, this company has very, very solid assets. Market is always focusing on the negatives. Because market, when there is a fear factor, as Nikunj was telling it, there is a concern, more of concerns than the looking positive about it. So there is a general tendency of investors, trading community, the intermediaries looking at focusing on the negatives and the concerns. So the positives are not valued fully. That is the basic reason. So infrastructure, see, anybody will agree, India has long way to go. It's not as you think. It is into lakhs of crores of infrastructure spending coming up. Trillions of dollars I am talking. Then only will become a reasonably good level of accommodating 1.3 billion people. So we need to, it is a compulsive kind of forces because of the political mismanagement of last 70 years, I would say. Since English people, they left India, we have been mismanaging it in case of infrastructure. Suppose the Britishers stayed for another 2-3 decades, I wish we would have been a great country in infrastructure as on today. So we missed it. So anyway, now also it's not late. It's better late than never. So we have to create infrastructure for 1,300 million people to live in. So it is the biggest theme to bet on. There are challenges. Stock picking is not very easy. You have to compromise on some gray areas and some negatives. But I think I see at least 20 companies in infrastructure in the currently listed companies, whose market cap can go beyond 10,000 crores.
So infrastructure is the next theme that he's
and it has to take off if India needs to rise. Zycom Electronics, when we sorry?
It's a stock I failed. I lost money. Zycom Electronics.
Oh, okay.
Long back, it's a very old story. I was betting on that.
Top holding? Is it still part of your top holding?
No, I don't hold it for last many years.
Okay,
Zero holding.
So lot of it. Okay. So then let's talk about some of the other names. I was actually inquisitive about Zycom, but since that's not part of your holding, MK Global. Do you think that the brokerage business, the financing business, has its niche pockets of outperformance? It's really a market share driven business. How much can you garner at what time?
See, this is a theme I discussed with Nigunj 1 year ago when we had a market cap of $1.5 trillion. So that means Indian market cap is at infancy. So the capital market, the intermediary activities have been at an infancy like, we are nowhere. So it has to go manifold. So the broking or capital market related activities. So I was recommending Geojit, it used to be 30 rupees.
Yeah, true.
India Infoline and Motilal Oswal a year ago and even 2 years ago.
Edelweiss as well. Edelweiss Financial Services.
Yeah, I didn't go much into that.
Yeah.
So these are the stocks I publicly suggested. I used to buy it also. This MK Global, I have to disclose, we are holding over 6% in our PMS, which we have been buying since some time. So it's a bet, we are making on a theme and something is available at 100-200 crores market cap with the potential of making it maybe $500 million in the next few years' time. So that is where you make big money. Or otherwise people go on betting on TCS, Infosys, Wipro and some ITC and Hindustan Lever. It's for very mediocre kind of, better to keep the money in the bank, in FD.
So you will not buy HDFC Bank?
No, I didn't buy it for last 5 years in any case. It's great. People who bought it, they're smart guys, they're doing it. But I have made much more money than HDFC's growth.
Would you buy Bharat Financial? Bharat Financial?
No, I will not buy it. I had 1.5 years ago, I had made a tweet, basically indicating sell on Bharat Finance and buy Federal Bank.
Okay.
Federal Bank has given 140% return since then, and Bharat Financial is only some 20-30% up.
Yeah, it's been
so it's all about choices. You have so many choices in this country. One need not really go on a stock which media discuss, or too much in fancy, or some 10 brokerage firms make a report on. Avoid such stocks. They will give you mediocre returns. You have to find the hidden gems, and I am telling you, the investors in India, are so lucky. It's a paradise for stock picking, as I always put it. We have so many of hidden gems at any given time, and this next 2-3 years, our earlier theme of turnarounds, seen a changing India, a structurally changing Indian economy. The real theme to bet on is turnaround companies, where as I always used to say, now Bombay Dyeing. 1 year ago, I have recommended on ET Now. We have discussed this stock at 60 rupees. I have discussed, I have tweeted it also. So in which I was using the word chore management. Means
this long chat, I think a year ago at BSc.
Yeah.
You were sitting with Mr. KD and you said that the theme really could be turnaround management, so chore management.
So the not so ethical, I would want to put it more lightly, the not so ethical or not so professional managements are changing, because some of them are changing willfully, Some of them are forced to change because of the structurally changing economy and the new development like GST, demonetization. Abhi, now there is a fear of being caught for the people who deal in black money in large amount, who buy land, paying 10 lakhs and 1 crore worth of land they buy, apartment they buy. So
Binami properties.
Binami property. So there is a first. See, people ask, demonetization failed. I think it's nonsense. It's one of the wonderful thing was done. Maybe there was a lot of flaws in implementation. A lot of people suffered. It could have been done much better. But the idea was fantastic. One of the best, historically best economic ideas the country has brought in.
Yeah.
The governments
so
have
now
brought
that
in.
we have all these amazing economic ideas in place, what else do you think is that hidden gem pocket? We've talked about infrastructure. We've talked about financial services. What else is looking interesting right now?
India as a theme. I'm telling you, Aisha, this is an amazing place to do stock picking. Even though anytime, maybe 5 years ago, 2 years ago, we could have always told anybody, come and talk, stock picking is the game. So it's nothing great in that. Even I say it often. But here we are at a very special situation. Because of the disruptive world out there, many businesses and companies are dying out. So it's a time to be very, very selective.
Yeah.
But it's a great opportunity at the same time. You have to, more than number crunching. Now, number crunching anybody can do. There are 10,000 people in Mumbai, highly educated CAs, CFAs and MBAs. They are doing number crunching. Sometimes it's going to be useless in some time.
So,
the big data analytics is going to take away all those jobs.
So what I want to understand from you today is not what you're betting on, but when you identify an idea or a theme or a stock, what is your checklist like? What are the factors which are at play?
I don't have any checklist.
Okay.
So these things evolve. It happens, in the subconscious mind.
A lot of people listening to you right now, and I'll speak a little louder. A lot of people listening to you right now would be like, there's a universe of 6,000, 7,000 stocks out there. Is largely, to find a hidden gem, you have to take a top-down approach. You have to identify a sector and then perhaps go scale it down to a stock. That's the typical approach.
No, that's
so
bad.
what are your top 3 guidelines on scaling down?
Identifying a sector is, it happens in the background of our mind.
So how does
we should
Porinju
not
do
be
it?
even
How do
conscious
you do
about
it?
identifying the sector. It happens. We need not talk about it. We need not really think about it. See, a stock
See,
picker.
for you, your intuition works great. For all the viewers who are watching us, they need those 5,
Give us
10
3 guidelines.
steps to,
3 guidelines.
pick up.
See, I always reply like this. Many people don't like it. Keep your eyes and ears open. This is the only way I can express that. There is no hard and fast rules in stock picking. You have to be flexible. If you are so rigid, okay, I make a top down and identify a few companies, a set of 5 companies, and then you go for your filters, their debt levels, you can have n number of such things.
Okay.
So these all are worth only for the management students and CFA students, I'm telling you, for
So how
their
many
exams.
stocks do you own in your current PMS schemes?
See, a client of us, typically own 10 stocks. That's our standard
that's it.
Concentrated
since last
portfolio.
14 years. That has been our standard of, keeping number of
So
stocks.
why do I keep on seeing your name or your firm's name in bulk deals every second day? I'm sure you're buying more than 10 stocks in a year.
These things, see, as I have been talking, I am a small guy, so I can only buy small stocks, in my personal account or in my family names. I'm not rich, and I don't like to be. I love to be a middle class, person, and that's the best way to live, most enjoyable in life. So I buy small companies, so when this small company, we talked about RV Denim. See, okay. RV Denim, it was a casual buying in my personal account a few days ago. I didn't know that my name is going to come. Perhaps. It's like then.
How can it not, Porinju?
I'll tell you, see how much it's a small few lakhs rupees
Yeah,
deal.
it's very true.
35 rupees stock, I
Equity of
bought
the
some 1.5
company,
lakh shares.
equity of the company,
Even
right.
children in the market do it, the small guys do it, very, very small guys. So it's not a deal. It's one of the smallest deal among if you take the top 100 deals, one of the smallest deal in the market that day. But being small companies, so I am just this stock can go to zero also.
Okay.
They have some problems now. So taking such bets, now MK Global, when I was buying at 45, 50 rupees, so nobody was comfortable. When I was buying, if you remember, the future consumer enterprises, let us take that example.
8
I'm not
rupees become 40 rupees. You still own it?
51 rupees.
51 rupees,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Let's look at the
I was
interest.
buying at 4 rupees.
Okay, so you still own it?
Yeah, we
Are
still
you
own.
happy to own it for next 3 years?
I don't want to commit on that, you know. So we may find better opportunities because it's a changing India. As I always put that hash mark, it's a changing India. The opportunities, you know, if you keep your eyes and ears open, there is no limit for opportunities. And even though there are 5,000-6,000 companies, we have at least 2,000 companies, I would say. And out of this 2,000 company space, the other thing is almost gone. So out of these 2,000 companies, maybe 500-600 companies can go 5 and 10 times in the next 10 years.
Is Kaya such a company, Porinju? Kaya?
Kaya is a stock because you know, people were bullish at 1,500 and 2,000 kind of levels some time back. So we never did anything. It came down to 700 levels some time back. Then we started buying in PMS, understanding their current challenges. In Indian operations are not making profits, but it's a great brand. Wonderful management people,
Go people.
yeah, we can always trust them. And this kind of business, it's like again in the infancy in India. Now people like Aisha and all may be spending money on such, only rich people can afford today. But times are
Why
changing.
am I being targeted out of all of us sitting here?
I don't know much about Tanvir. She also looks rich, so should be. But India, a class of population.
But Kaya is meant for middle class. That's what you said.
No, it's yeah. They have recently changed. Many products are coming into the middle class also. And the middle class also emerging into the affordable class who can spend money. You know, who earnings much more than what they consume. So I think these kind of businesses are in the infancy in India. So at 1,700 crores, 800 crores market cap, I found Kaya very interesting. So I went on buying. I'm betting on the future potential of these companies. So right now it's not moving anywhere. It's at just above my average price.
Do you meet these managements to try and understand their
No,
business
we
model?
haven't met the management. After buying 5%, I tried to contact the CEO and just had a telecon. He talked to me because he's also Keralite.
Okay.
So that's good.
You know, I understand the potential for Kaya is great. For MK Global, it could be strong. GVK Power may be turning around. But I can vouch for Tanvir, Aisha, me and you, that we don't send greeting cards on Diwali. We are no longer selling greeting cards on Valentine. At least to my wife, I send a WhatsApp message. And yet you bought into Archie's, which is a greeting cards company.
Yeah, Archie's, my bet seems to be failing. I think there I was betting on that, that promoters may change to be more professional. They will not siphon off money or kind of, they will go professional about it. Even after I bought, that symptoms are still lacking. Promoters seems to be complacent, they're comfortable. It's a fantastic brand. If I get the brand and the company, I will make it $1 billion company in the next 10 years time.
Would you want to pitch for Archie's ever? Would you pitch for Archie's?
I hold personally some 2%. It's a small market cap now. Around
Greeting cards?
Yeah, but
it's not a greeting cards company anymore.
Oh, okay.
See, this Archie's, what all thing you can sell?
It's not a gift shop. I went there.
No, more like
Children, the young children to 78-year-old people, the complete population in the country knows this brand, Archie's. That has got a value. If you can create a business model around it, it need not be greeting cards. It's not about greeting cards. They are into the gift products, and a lot of people can still.
But wasn't there competition there? I mean, aren't they losing their competitive edge? I agree that there's a brand premium. There's no, contesting that. But online?
No, the business model is also good. In fact.
Okay.
They are buying something at 20 rupees from China, selling at 100 rupees here.
Okay.
They can bring it down from 100 to 50 to look cheap for people, shopping. So there is a lot of potential. Even they have a online thing which is not well developed.
Yeah, that's
the potential is there. Potential to make it a huge company, but depends on the capability of the promoters, their attitude. Now some promoters in India, they are so worried. If they create wealth, it will be shared with the minority shareholders. So they don't create wealth. That kind of, we have got such very low-end promoters also. Some of them are changing already, and others will be forced to change. So we are going to see then the shareholder activism. India has been always lacking it. I'm telling you, a lot of people.
That's been your tweet also.
It came back in Infosys.
So this can now come down to the small companies and the regulator, Security Exchange Board of India, and they all are with the investing community. So these promoters, store promoters, will not be finding it easy to go the way they are going now.
All right.
Okay.
Porinju, we'll leave it at.
Always great having you in the studios. Thanks so much for making it here. Good chatting with you and good to get in words on how to go about investing. and what is his criteria of picking stocks?
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely list out the next time you're here how you pick stocks, because that's really, I mean, there's so many people on Twitter who ask us that. So I think do oblige the listeners.
Stock
and
ideas can come from anywhere.
But
See,
everyone
people should understand.
there is a criteria. Like Buffett says that I buy consumer monopolies. You got Carl Icahn. He says that I like to buy beaten down companies where I can take large stake and I can go for consumer activism. All investors, they typically say that look, this is our core competence and we like to stick to this.
And Porinju, you right now also picked out a theme, right? You like the turnaround companies.
Yep. This is last 2 years, in fact. Nikunj will watch for that. And see, it's happening. See, index hasn't gone up much. And in the future also, investors cannot bet on the Nifty and Sensex in a big way. We have major challenges over there. Now I am 100% sure. I recently had talked about TCS, Infosys, Wipro and HCL Tech. I'm telling you, after 5 years, the market cap of these companies put together will be either today's or below that.
Yeah.
And our FIs, luckily they are holding on to all these kind of companies, warehousing that underperformance. So you see, these are the old stories. Smart people should not spend their time on this kind of old stories. Look for the new stories coming up. India, because India is giving that kind of an opportunity. So I cannot blame, see the management, why I'm telling this India's top 4 IT companies can be same market cap after 5 years, provided they manage it very well. Otherwise it will go down by 50%. So I'm not talking bad about them.
No, we get your point.
So I'm talking investors. Investors should look for multi-baggers.
That's
And
right.
They should rise with India.
India at $2 trillion as an economy or a market cap, I'm telling you, is the ideal place still to bet for multi-baggers, to take chances. Sometimes you'll fail. Now Archie's, I almost failed. Did not move up. The Sycom, something I bet on a few years ago, it failed. I lost money in that. So when you pick 10 stocks with that kind of a theme and compromising with some gray areas or negatives, 1 or 2 of them could fail. That's a natural thing. But the remaining 8, out of the remaining 8, 5 of them will go multi-baggers.
Right.
See, GVK now has a problem. See, the same problem was, even you might have asked me 2 years ago, 3 years ago at FCL, Future Consumer at 10 rupees. So you won't get full clarity when you buy something very cheap.
Good news and good prices rarely come together.
Yeah,
it's
so
important to keep
you have to be monitoring that stock, its development, macro developments. Now, infrastructure as a theme, I am very excited still. Already, Nikunj, there is shortage of bidders in the country, in many segments. Many companies are already full with orders.
Yeah.
So
No,
this situation will create, more margins for these companies.
Oh, just realized we've done 22 minutes with you. We've extended our appointment. It's a lovely
I think I
to
was
have you on
talking
the
too
show.
much.
No, lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you for
All the
being
best.
candid.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.